Imagine waking up in 2026 to a world where the Inca Empire never fell. A single civilization stretches from Alaska to Patagonia. The largest cities on Earth rise from the Andes. Could such a world actually exist?
In reality, the Inca Empire was the largest state in the Americas. But disease arrived before conquest, and political instability followed. In 1532, Francisco Pizarro captured Emperor Atahualpa. Within decades, this great civilization had collapsed. But what if history had changed? Imagine when Spanish explorers arrive, they face a united people of millions. The invasion fails.
The failed invasion changes everything. At dawn, golden light spills over Cusco, its granite walls polished to a mirror shine. Crimson and gold banners rising over the plazas as the empire begins to reorganize. Inside the Imperial Council Hall, Emperor Atahualpa leans over a map carved into solid stone, flanked by his general in bronze plate armor and his chief engineer in simple gray wool. Together, they plan a continent's defense. In workshops across the capital, master stone masons present clay models of new fortress walls. Along mountain ridges, commanders study strategic passes, while runners carry knotted quipu cords, coordinating warnings faster than any army could march. Workers lever massive granite blocks into place, extending the Great Highway, the Capac Nian, deeper into the frontier. Columns of guards in bronze scale armor march beside merchant caravans of llamas loaded with tools and grain. On the Pacific cliffs, watchtowers rise stone by stone, until signal fires burn in an unbroken chain along the coastline. In the high passes, soldiers drill in silent, disciplined formation. Suspension bridges are reinforced, even as travelers cross them. Inside the sacred Coricancha, the emperor stands beneath walls of gold, quietly resolved. For the first time, an American civilization is coordinating not for conquest, but for survival. And in the streets of Cusco, life does not falter. It strengthens, discovering for the first time that it is one. The Aztecs and the Maya now face an entirely new reality. In Cusco, Atahualpa and his advisors study a stone relief map inlaid with gold and turquoise, tracing trade routes reaching north for the first time. A diplomatic delegation departs the capital, laden with woven textiles, ceramics, and quipu records, following the royal road north beneath the gaze of condors circling the high passes. They cross valleys, jungle mist, and river frontiers, until they reach the limestone plazas of a Maya ceremonial city, where nobles in jade and quetzal feathers receive them as equals. In quiet halls, Inca diplomats and Maya scholars pore over painted codices together, exchanging gifts of cacao, jade, and bronze rather than swords. Word travels onward, through highland trade corridors, toward the volcanic valley of Anahuac. There, rising from the waters of Lake Texcoco, stands Tenochtitlan, its causeways and temples catching the last gold light of afternoon. The Aztec ruler receives the Inca envoys not as conquerors, but as partners, exchanging cloth and vessels beneath a painted trade map spread across a wooden table. Marketplaces fill with Inca, Maya, and Aztec merchants trading side by side. Would the Inca expand northward through conquest or through commerce? Historians studying this timeline believe the answer would not matter. Trade alone would bind these civilizations together. Slowly, deliberately, without a single European sail on the horizon, three great American civilizations begin weaving themselves into one continental world.
Exposure to foreign technology still occurs through trade, but this time, the Americas remain independent. Metalworking advances, engineering evolves, astronomy flourishes. The Inca road network becomes the foundation for an industrial revolution.
At sunrise, golden light pours over the Coricancha, the temple of the sun, its precision-cut walls glowing above a mist-filled valley. Inside, a high priest and an elderly philosopher study shadow markers. On a high terrace, astronomers track the rising sun with polished stone instruments, refining a science older than any cathedral. Thousands of pilgrims walk the Capac Nian toward the capital, carrying flowers and woven offerings, crossing swaying grass bridges beneath condors gliding through the canyon air. They arrive at a mountain sanctuary carved into the cliffside,
where a philosopher teaches shadow geometry to a new generation. In the temple library, scholars catalog centuries of knowledge in carved tablets and celestial maps. At the Intihuatana stone, the high priest traces the sun's path across carved granite. As evening falls, musicians play panpipes beside a fire while pilgrims sit in quiet meditation. Then the sky darkens. A solar eclipse begins. Thousands stand in silent reverence as the corona blazes around a blackened sun, until light returns and a condor sweeps low over the sanctuary. Without foreign conquest, faith here does not vanish. It evolves, merging astronomy, philosophy, and reverence for nature into something the modern world never had the chance to witness. By the 19th century, sunrise breaks over a transformed Andean capital. Granite terraces threaded with steam and bronze viaducts. Hydroelectric plants humming along mountain rivers. Inside a monumental planning hall, officials in fine woven textiles study a glowing map of continental railways and dams. On mountain ridges, engineers survey the ancient Capac Nian for new rail lines, the old road becoming the spine of an industrial age. Indigenous laborers raise bronze and stone railway bridges beside centuries-old rope suspension bridges, one era crossing the next. A steam locomotive, armored in bronze and etched with sun motifs, climbs through the mountains as passengers in refined Andean dress look out from stone-trimmed carriages. Hydroelectric turbines spin inside temple-inspired stone housings, powering a city that pollutes nothing. At dusk, electric lamps flicker on across plazas and terraced gardens, the ancient geometry of Cusco fully illuminated, without a trace of industrial smoke. In foundries, workers cast bronze-steel alloys beside furnaces glowing warm against stone walls. In lecture halls, young engineers study blueprints, the empire investing in its own future. By century's end, universities, dams, and railways rise together. Harmony, rather than conquest driving progress forward. An industrial revolution built not on coal and smoke, but on rivers, stone, and an unbroken continental will. If scientific progress continues uninterrupted, the impossible becomes real. At sunrise, a space center rises from the mountains themselves. Launch pads built from fitted granite blocks anchored directly into the ridgeline. Inside the ancient Coricancha, historians and scientists trace how solstice alignments carved centuries ago now map precisely onto modern orbital paths, proof that this ambition was never new, only waiting. In assembly halls beneath towering stone columns, engineers in modern workwear patterned with Andean geometry guide a rocket into place. On the launch pad, technicians in white thermal suits complete final checks as the mountains stand silent witness. In the control room, flight directors and controllers, dressed in formal indigenous-inspired suits, watch telemetry glow across granite-paneled walls. An astronaut sits calm and still as a suit is sealed, a golden sun emblem stitched over the heart. Families gather on a mountain overlook as engines ignite, steam and flame rolling across the valley floor, the rocket rising past clouds and condors into the thinning blue. In the control room, controllers embrace as orbit is confirmed. Aboard the capsule, the astronaut looks down through the window at the curve of the Andes wrapped in sunlight, the same mountains their ancestors once mapped in stone. At a research station in orbit, samples float in careful hands beneath panels inlaid with quiet geometric patterns. Below, city lights glow as citizens look up to watch the station cross the stars. In a university lab, the next generation of engineers studies rocket airflow, the torch already passing. Centuries of astronomy, carved once into temple walls, now orbit the Earth in silence and pride. Today, daily life would look familiar, yet entirely different. At sunrise, a mountain megacity glows gold, ancient granite masonry fused seamlessly with glass towers and terraced sky gardens, cable cars threading through green valleys below. Commuters move through a transit station built of dark stone and warm timber, boarding electric trains beside gondolas gliding up the slope. On paved avenues, citizens walk with smartphones shaped from obsidian and copper, reading public displays written in Quechua. In a design studio, engineers examine devices inspired by Inca geometry. In a research lab, a scientist leads a team modeling renewable solar and hydroelectric power beneath living plant walls. On a university campus, students carry digital notebooks past floor-to-ceiling windows, framing the mountains.
while in a lecture hall, a professor compares ancient star maps to modern telemetry. Families gather in stone plazas, beside fountains fed by mountain aqueducts. In the marketplace, hand-woven textiles sit beside locally engineered devices. In a hospital wrapped in cedar and stone, healers use quiet, non-invasive equipment beside gardens of medicinal plants. In government halls, officials assist citizens through transparent glass counters beneath centuries-old stonework. Children in classrooms build with robotics kits displayed in Quechua script. Electric trains glide over viaducts tracing the historic Capac Neon through valleys still farmed the old way. At the Coricancha, now a center for history and science, visitors walk quietly beneath preserved gold-lined walls. As the sun sets, citizens gather on a high terrace, ancient stone and modern glass standing side by side, watching a skyline that is unmistakably both ancestral and new. But this world is not perfect. From high above, the gleaming capital fades into quiet, distant valleys, where provincial communities still wait for their share of progress. In the national parliament, a minister addresses lawmakers beneath soaring glass and granite, gesturing toward a map of a continent governed almost entirely from one city. In the plaza outside, a community activist stands among citizens, holding quiet banners, asking for regional autonomy and the protection of local languages. A journalist interviews ordinary citizens about decentralization in a sunlit courtyard. At a university forum, students debate constitutional law with a professor beneath open stone terraces. Delegates from distant provinces arrive at the capital in traditional dress, carrying petitions the government has not yet answered. Inside the Coricancha, historians and curators discuss how to protect endangered indigenous languages before they disappear entirely. In quiet provincial towns, families and merchants still trade in open markets beside modern solar rooftops, a slower rhythm of life running parallel to the capital's ambition. A new transit line runs beside the ancient Royal Road, though it reaches only some of the provinces so far. In a museum, visitors reflect on the challenge of preserving countless local identities within a single vast state. At dusk, citizens gather to vote in orderly halls, and elders share tea with visiting ministers on stone village steps. A continent this size, governed by one dominant power, carries real risks. Smaller cultures fading, freedoms narrowing, inequality growing wider than any ocean. Even a world spared colonization must still answer an old question. How does unity survive without erasing what makes each people unique? Europe would no longer dominate world history. At sunrise, Cusco stands transformed into a global diplomatic capital. Granite terraces merge with glass and garden rooftops. Diplomats from Africa, Asia, Europe, and Oceania arrive at the Imperial Council Hall, greeted warmly beneath sunlit stone archways. Inside a great circular chamber, world leaders sit at one shared table. No podium, no single seat of dominance, only quiet, equal cooperation. Delegates lean over a glowing world map showing trade and innovation spread evenly across every continent. No single power towering over the rest. Outside, journalists broadcast live from the summit's stone courtyards. In laboratories nearby, scientists from every continent collaborate on clean energy and medicine. At the coast, zero-emission cargo ships dock beside solar-powered rail hubs, part of a trade network built on cooperation rather than extraction. In grand halls, delegates sign a treaty beneath carved stone archways, while nearby, a cultural exhibition celebrates art and history from every corner of the world, indigenous American achievement standing equally beside all the rest. At dusk, diplomats gather informally on a garden terrace above the glowing valley, and inside the Coricancha, historians and astronomers study ancient instruments beside modern digital maps, ancient wisdom informing new discovery. Entire centuries of colonization simply never happen. Global power is shared, not seized. And as the sun rises over the Andes one final time in this scene, leaders from every continent stand together on a stone terrace. Proof that a modern world can be built on equal footing, not upon empire. History often turns on a single moment. One battle, one disease, one decision. At sunrise, light breaks gently over a mountain city,
where 5 uninterrupted centuries of indigenous progress stand quietly reflected in glass and stone. Children play beside ancient granite walls their ancestors built by hand. In a museum, visitors trace that unbroken story from gold quippus to holographic archives. An elder historian studies old star charts by lamplight, the same knowledge that once tracked eclipses, now tracing orbits. Above the Coricancha, students and scholars walk together through gardens grown beside a temple older than any nation on Earth. On a mountain observation deck, young dreamers watch the sky through a telescope, still asking the same questions their ancestors asked in stone. Visitors from every country walk the ancient royal road, now a living monument connecting generations rather than dividing them. At dusk, an astronaut returns home to a quiet courtyard, and higher still, the camera rises, past mountain peaks, past clouds, past the thin edge of the atmosphere, until the Earth itself hangs quietly below, the Andes catching the last light of day. If the Inca Empire had survived, the modern world might look almost unrecognizable. Yet the greatest lesson remains the same. Civilizations rise not only through power, but through their ability to adapt. And sometimes, the world we never experienced can teach us just as much as the one we inherited. What should we explore next? Drop a comment below.